expectations and things we want to see out of the second game of preseason against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I said I didn't want the rookies to play. If you guys are just joining in, I don't. Like, I want to see them play just as badly as everybody else. But when you look at this team and its expectations, the fact that there's going to be 4 of those guys for sure contributing to those expectations, I want them ready and available too. But outside of them, I want the receiver battle. Keeping eyes on.
Yeah, the receiver battle is one to keep eyes on for sure. Obviously, we know Jameson Williams suspended for the first 6 games of the season, so they're going to have an open spot there. It feels like Maurice Alexander is going to be a lock for the roster.
Wow, you think so?
After losing a guy in Justin Jackson who retired, who was your kick returner, now you have the guy Maurice Alexander, who not only has shown that he's great at returning in the past 2 preseasons, he's electric when he gets the ball in his hands in open space. He's doing pretty well in camp as a receiver, running routes, making plays, winning one-on-ones. So I think that you can pencil him in for a spot. And then you look at what's going on with Dylan Drummond, Chase Cota, and Denzel Mims. We haven't seen anything out of Denzel Mims. He hasn't been healthy for the first week, so hopefully he gets in there this week against the Jaguars. Hopefully we can see him do some things down the field, make some plays, use the big body, use the speed. Chase Cota showed out. Chase Cota looked good against the Giants. Hopefully he can continue that performance. And Dylan Drummond, man, he's the unsung hero, the Michigan guy, the new Tom Kennedy, the new Zach Zenner, the guy everybody loves to root for.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he can, because he had a pretty good performance too against the Giants. He did have a pretty bad drop in the end zone, but I'd like to see him add on to that.
Can I be honest? I guess Brad Holmes gushed over Chase Cota during the alternate broadcast, which we didn't get to listen to because we were at the game. We had our own alternate broadcast going on, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not hype over him, but he did really well. He actually, kind of crazy to say, outperformed Jameson Williams in that game. 60 yards on like 470. I mean, I don't know how many catches he had, but I know he outperformed Jameson. That's wild. So maybe I should be keeping an eye on him. Dylan Drummond, I'm keeping an eye on because of all the hype with him. Maurice Alexander, I'd love to be in line with you on the whole, like him as a lock, but like they also just extended Khalif Raymond, who was already the returner last year.
You think he's going to return punts and kicks and be the number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver in the offense?
Well, I know punts for damn sure.
Yeah, punts for sure.
I don't think he was ever meant to be the number 2 receiver, but
I think he's forced into the role with Jameson Williams out.
He's kicking ass. Yeah, he is kicking ass. But he's definitely forced into the role for the first 6 or 7 games. But with them extending him and knowing that that's his way onto the team was as a special teams guy.
Yeah, I mean that was his way onto the team, but I think he's proved that he's more than that in the past couple of years. He's been second on the team in receiving yards for the past 2 years. The guy is very important to this offense. I don't think putting him out there for kicks and punts is the right move, especially with the guy.
To this offense.
He is very important to this offense. You don't think the number 2 receiver on the team the past 2 years is very important to this offense?
That is the first time all offseason you've made that comment.
You don't think that's true? You don't agree with that?
I think through the first 6 or 7 weeks, yes. I think he is definitely a productive piece, but to say he's very important to this offense, like, come on.
You don't think that's true? The guy who is second on the team in receiving yards the past 2 years.
When people are selling you the Lions offense, they're bringing up names. First, they bring up the offensive line.
Yes.
Secondly, maybe thirdly, depending on how you feel about Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. Following that, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We never, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. When have we ever hyped up this offense and mentioned Khalif Raymond? I'm not a Khalif.
The guy who is second in the team in receiving yards the past 2 seasons. That's not important. That's not very important.
There's never been another time this offseason you said that.
Yeah, and I'm saying it now.
For the first time.
Do you not agree with it?
Important. He's good. Important for the first 7 weeks, yes.
Which is a third of the season, which is very important for a team trying to win the division, trying to make it to the playoffs.
He also averaged the most yards on punt returns last year.
Yeah, keep him on punt returns. Keep him on punt returns. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I just don't know that Maurice is a lock just for being solely a kick returner.
I don't think that's what I said, though. He's not solely a kick returner. He's also been showing out in practice. Was he not making plays at the practice we were at? Was he not going bar for bar with Dylan Drummond where they're making great catches down the field?
I know he's a hard worker. I should have cut this last night, but Marvin Jones spoke with the media yesterday. He said this dude's fucking in huddles puking. And they're just like, all right. Right back at the line, running routes and stuff like that. I am a Maurice Alexander fan, but I don't know that he's a lock. But I'm definitely wide receiver, something I'm watching. I don't know if he's playing.
With that extra spot with Jameson Williams out.
Uh-huh.
and his ability to return kicks and return punts if needed, and what he's been showing at practice as a receiver, I think he's in.
Who would you rather? Because we're talking about keeping some extra bodies, right?
Yes.
Who would you rather keep, Julian Aquara or Maurice Alexander?
I mean, you don't have to make that decision.
You might have to. It's a 53-man roster.
They're both on the team.
But you had to make the choice.
They're both making it.
You gotta make a choice.
How?
You're pulling.
How many receivers do we have?
There's 6 receivers carried onto the team last year.
Okay. 6 receivers carried onto the team last year.
I don't know about defensive.
So we have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
C.
We have Marvin Jones,
C.
Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond.
C.
Who else other than those 4? For at least the first 6 weeks of the year.
Dylan Drummond, Chase Cotto.
Then you get 2 out of Dylan Drummond, Chase Cotto, Maurice Alexander, and Denzel Mims.
Listen,
You get 2 of those guys.
who would you rather have? Who would you rather keep?
I'm saying it doesn't come down to that.
I'm asking you. Who would you rather keep?
Julian Okwara, obviously.
All right.
But it doesn't come down to that.
You don't know.
You're only going to run with 4 receivers?
Name the receivers you said again.
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Okay.
Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, Khalif Raymond.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones,
Khalif Raymond. And then you get 2 out of Chase Cotto, Dylan Drummond, Maurice Alexander, and Denzel Mims.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the answer is Julian Aquara as well. That's all the reason I brought that up. No Trinity Benson love. Kind of surprised there.
And you throw Antoine Green in there too.
Yeah.
So 2 out of those 5 guys.
Which, if we're being honest, Maurice Alexander probably outperforming Antoine Green.
Yes.
Different guys, different roles.
For sure. But I'm saying the way he has been performing at camp, it's not like he's been being a bum and having drops. He's been making good plays. He's been winning routes, and he has the ability to return kicks and return punts if needed.
We shall see. I mean,
you got 2 spots open.
Predicament last year too, when he didn't
Who
make
of
the
those?
roster.
Who of those 5 are you taking? What 2 of those 5 are you taking right now?
Probably be between. I mean, I'm not pressed over that. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm just looking at that last year, similar situation, right? Like the wide receiver room.
Yeah,
honestly,
and that's what I'm
all
saying
those
right
guys
now.
are there.
There's 6.
But still didn't make the team.
Last year, we had 6. This year, we're going to have 6. You got the 4 that are a lock.
Yeah.
So what 2 are you taking out of those 5?
Probably Maurice and... Yeah, I'm going to pull it back up now, damn it.
I think it's Maurice, and then it's one of the...
Probably Maurice and Green.
Yeah. Or Mims if he shows out, or Dylan Drummond if he continues to have success.
I just don't know if he's a lock. That's all. I mean, beg to differ, whatever. The other side of the field, though, I want to look at is the defensive line that we were kind of talking about yesterday. Is like, okay, Junior Aquara, Romeo Aquara, we both believe they could be productive pieces on this team.
Yeah.
But also last year, they weren't part of like the 53-man roster. So like, yes, they were with the team, but like, what spots are they supplanting?
So, I don't know how many edge rushers they keep, because there is a lot of pieces on that defensive line. You got to think the locks obviously are Aiden Hutchinson, Charles Harris, Ali McNeil, Josh Pascal, John Kaminsky. One of the Aquaras, you got to think. James Houston, Bugs. There's a lot of guys. Broderick Martin, Benito Jones. There's a lot of guys you look at down there.
Starling Thomas is a guy I'm going to keep an eye on, too.
Yeah.
This next go-around. Ifeanyi Melifonwu. Like, as much as he's a Brad Holmes guy, and I think Brad's holding on to him, for a chance and opportunity to showcase something. And it's not knocking him at all either. Like, this team is... it's a beautiful problem to have, but this team's talent is growing year by year. Now it's to the point where your former third-round pick, Ifeanyi Melifonwu, might not make it.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have a good roster.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of good players, you're going to cut guys that you're like, damn, I think they could be a player. Damn, I think they could make something happen. But when you have this kind of depth, when you have this amount of, you're not just cutting fucking bums anymore.
Yeah.
You're not cutting guys that aren't playing in the league anymore. You have enough pieces, you have good players, that some of the guys you cut, some of the guys that don't make the roster are going to be like, damn, I thought he would have been a piece. But unfortunately, you can only have 53.
Yeah, and man. Aiden Hudson, John Kaminsky, Charles Harris, Josh Pascal. Think about the edge rusher thing. But it's a beautiful problem to have.
Yeah.
I have no... Whoever gets cut, it is what it is. I think who would be most hurt by it? Would it be Maurice Alexander?
If he gets cut?
Yeah. I think I'd be more hurt by Julian. Well, I think we both would, but...
Yeah. I think so, too.
I'm curious to see how that thing situates itself. I want to see more of that Nowinski, I believe his name, the linebacker. He got a lot of love out of Dan Campbell.
Didn't he go to school with Booner?
Is that the guy who went to school with Booner?
I think so, yeah.
Probably. If so, we got to get him on the show, Booner. What's up with that, man? Chase Lucas, I'll be keeping an eye on. Stephen Gilmore, not because like anything particular. I mean, we obviously saw him have an interception in practice, but like he's also Stephon Gilmore's brother, so I want to see some type of like.
I think Chase Lucas might be.
I don't know.
And like no disrespect to him, man, it's the same kind of thing.
Lord split you.
How much deeper that backfield? Sorry, Adam's in the chat. It's got me speaking in tongues. But how much deeper that secondary room has gotten over the past summer, over the past year. Some guys that we liked, some guys that we thought could be something, aren't gonna make the cut. And there's always practice squad too.